welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time for the dozen or so of you that ever saw any of my videos, but I'm back. I'm going to try to be posting once a week. We'll see how that goes. But for those that haven't seen me before, you're like, who is this crazy old lady with the messed up hair and sweat? It's summer, first of all, here. My name is Sam, also known as the old school book nerd. That's because I'm old and I'm a book nerd and I like old school things. I loved the 80s. That's when I was at my prime of my life. That was my teenage years. So that tells you how old I am. So anyways, I've been super busy at work. Chaos is the word I would use for everything in my life since March. But things are calming down again. May was a fabulous reading month for me. I participated in Escape the Readathon and got 13 books read or listened to in May, which is for me record-breaking month. June, not going so great. I'm filming this on the 10th, and I've read one book that I finished last night under duress. It was a book club book, and I didn't really like it. So that kind of at my reading for the month. But because I have a week before my next book club, I have some time to throw in a fun read or a palate cleanser before I have to focus on a book that I have to be able to discuss. So I thought my re-entry into the world of BookTube would be a scavenger hunt reading vlog. So we're going to flip the camera over and I'm going to draw some prompts and we're going to see what book is next. Thanks for joining me as I kind of relaunch this shindig. Okay, so here we are in front of my TBR shelves. Only 100 and some odd books there to choose from. And we're going to start by drawing some prompts. Using my book nerd, gotta keep with the theme here, cup. It has 25-ish prompts in here. I'm going to draw 6. And we're starting with the last book I read. For those that understand the scavenger hunts or have done this before, I'm just going to reiterate or share the rules. Basically, I'm going to draw a prompt. I'm going to use the book that I last read to start us off, and then from there, the prompts build upon each other. There's a few loosey-goosey general prompts to kind of shove me in a direction. We'll see. This was a mystery. It's being marketed as a mystery from a mystery publisher. There was no mystery in it. Did not enjoy it. I got some tabs. I have some words. But this is what we're going to start with. So we're going to draw the first prompt. Also, if you hear some crunching, the dog has a treat. So he's busy enjoying that. And I'm going to be a little sweaty because the air conditioner in this room is super loud. So I have turned it off. Our first prompt is... And I got to put the old lady cheaters on because, you know, old. So there it is. Pick a book with the opposite vibe on the cover. Okay. So this book has a light and a dark side, lots of blue and lots of black. So I'm thinking something bright and summery. Hold on. Let's go see what I come up with. Okay, so I have 3 options that I came up with, 3 different genres. We have the names, which was on a bunch of best of lists last year. It feels very light and summery with the light blue, which is the opposite of the darker blues that were on the previous cover. We have the Regency Switch, which has the split down the middle like the previous cover, but of much more vibrant colors. Romance, time travel romance. And then Books and Bewitchment, which I know absolutely nothing about other than it's books and magic. 2 things I enjoy in life. I can't decide between these, so we're going to get the dog to decide for us. Hold on while I let him choose for me. Okay, Bennett is here. Excuse the yoga mat, but this is a small room and I do yoga in here every Tuesday. So let's put a treat on each book and call Mr. Bennett in and see which one he does. Come on, Bennett. Get your treats. Get your treats. Okay, so Mr. Bennett chose Books and Bewitchment. And it is one of the quotes on the back says, "A warm hug of love story that perfectly balances magic, romance, and family secrets." However, this isn't the book. That's the first draw. So let's go to the book nerd. There's a bunch there. Okay. Pardon the lapping up of water by the dog. He's very excited because he was eating a treat and then he got treats. So this says, book with 100 more or less pages. Okay. So Books and Bewitchment has, not counting acknowledgments or the about the author, is 347. So I'm looking for something that's 247-ish or 447-ish. I'm not a long book reader, so let's aim for the 247-ish. Be right back with my choices. Didn't take too long. I have a lot of books that are in that 200 range. Came up with The Story Baker. This is an arc about a ballerina who gets a job at a bakery and is a feel-good book. So let's see what this leads us to in the next prompt. So this is prompt number 3 of 6. So you don't think I'm cheating. Let's see what we get. And I'll hold it up for you all first. Is it upside down? Is it right side up? It's right side up. It looks a little flipped in there. Find a book with a similar star rating on Storygraph. Well, this is an ARC, so I don't know what type of star ratings it's going to have yet. So let's see if I can come up with anything. I'm filming on my phone, so okay, so I'm going to pop a little video up here. Let me stand a little to the side of it. I went and I actually used my laptop, so I have video screen recorded. Ooh, holding up the wrong book. Surprise. Storybaker had a 3.76, I think 3.74, somewhere in there. It's on the screen. So I went to my to-read pile, which is all the books I physically have on my shelves, and I sorted it by most recent acquisition, just for shits and giggles. And the very first book I pulled up, same rating, and that is Star Seekers, which is a mix of sci-fi and cozy mystery, which I'm super excited to get to at some point. And the dog is finding stuff on the floor somewhere. So that is book number 3. That is the 3rd prompt. We're getting ready to pull number 4 of 6 prompts. So we're getting close. And let's see what it says. I see a lot of words on there, and I don't know if it's right side for you or not. Title starts with the first letter of the current book's author last name. Okay, so author, Glover, so G. We're looking for a book that starts with G. This is going to take a moment. Hold on. Well, that didn't take as long as I thought it was. I even actually set up the camera to do like a hyperlapse time speeder, and the first shelf I went to, the 3rd book on the shelf, started with a G. I'm not counting the thes and the ands because we don't do that in the book business, supposedly. So The Good Eye, which is the A psychic harnesses her talents for animal communication to extract a perfect revenge. A stone appears in the woman's pocket like a charm, only to end up lodged in her partner's throat. A condescending artist who considers his girlfriend too conventional throws a dinner party where he is served a painful and consequential truth. 12 probing sideways tales that wrestles with the limits of perception and possibility. This sounds really good. I might be moving it up on the stack, but it is time for the penultimate draw. Draw number 5. This is going to bring us closer to that final book that I will be reading for this vlog between now and my next book club. So, number 5 says, again, it looks flipped, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm sorry if it is. Flip to a random page. Point to a random word. Find that word in the title of the next book. Okay, now this one we might need the hyperlapse for, because even with 130 some odd physical books, random word. Okay, flipping, 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 pointing, pointing, bland. Why would someone title a book bland? You want people to read it. You don't want to say, hey, this book is bland. Okay, here we go. Signing. I might have something that says sign. Let's see. Nothing. Nothing on the shelves that had the word sign. Let's give it another try. Flipping, flipping, flipping. Random word, random word, random word. Let's do right there. Breakfast? No. Okay. For 4th time's the charm. Random word. Theirs. So let's say they or theirs. Let's see what we've got. Y'all. Oh, goodness. No. They're there. 130 some odd books. Not a they or theirs. And I just did my book club book mix of audio and visual reading, and I have 2 audiobooks I'm currently in the middle of that I'm really enjoying, so I don't want to choose an audiobook. So, random page, random word. At this point, spinning in the sky. I'm going to choose a word from this paragraph. We're going to go there. We're going to choose a word from this paragraph. So, children shouted, stuffed mouths, chocolate, picked noses, older, fat, oily-haired, scuffled, taunted, watching, intervene, instead, looked, seen, squinting, sunlight, lashes, eyes, stung, crowd, believers, sun, spinning, sky, pain, visions, blessed, tugged, crucifix. Oh, no crucifixes here. Neck, back, forth, chain. Okay, so we're going to look for sun or back. I'll be happy if I have any of those. Sun or back. Those were both in that paragraph. And of course, like I said, air conditioner's off. So I'm getting my workout. I'm sweating, babes. I'm sweating. Let's give it a shot. Sun or back. Okay. Another utter fail. That prompt is never going back into this again. Any other day, probably I'd have like 30 or 40 choices. So, summer, sun, sun, summer. I'm giving myself a break. I'm going with a book that has the word summer in it, and that is The Lost Summer of Louisa May Alcott. This book is, what, 15, 20 years old? It is so good. I have it on my reread shelves, and I'm not a rereader. It's historical fiction. Obviously, it's about Louisa May Alcott, and it's about the summer. Her family spent a summer, I believe, at Walt Whitman's cabin in, I think, Maine. So anyways, fabulous fiction, love story, historical, great book. But now, for the final draw, stopping for a drink. Draw number 6, using this book to pick what I read next. Please let it be a good prompt. And then I can turn the air conditioner back on. Woo! Okay. Here we go. Sacrifice to the book gods. Says. Okay. Go to the shelf you got the first book from. Use a random number generator to select a new book from that shelf. So the first book I got was the Books and Bewitchment. And that came off of my sci-fi shelves, my sci-fi fantasy shelves, which is this shelf right here. And I'm going to count the books and I'm going to roll a dice. And we'll see what I'm going to be reading for this vlog. Okay, so this is my sci-fi fantasy shelf. As you can see, I don't have a lot there because I'm not a huge fantasy reader and I'm just now dabbling in sci-fi. I got a 10-sided dice because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books on here. I have a fancy plate to roll the dice into. So let's see. Book number 2. Oh my God, it's a chonker, guys. It is a chonker. The Poisons We Drink. Okay. Seriously, guys, time for that air conditioner to come back on. The dice have spoken. It is The Poisons We Drink, which actually has been on my shelf for close to a year, at least, maybe. And I'm on Team Spoilers, which is the non-competitive team for the Amazing Readathon hosted by Bree. Links will be below. So it's the month of June. It has a Doctor Who theme this year, which is fabulous because my family and I love Doctor Who. But one of the prompts is a book recommended on YouTube or that you heard about via YouTube. And I've always struggled with a prompt like that because even though I watch a lot of YouTube videos and I participate in a lot of the Discords, as a bookseller, I hear about books long before they ever make an appearance on YouTube. Matter of fact, we're buying our December and January books right now for the store. So, but this is one I hadn't heard of until I saw someone talking about it. I think it was YouTube. It might have been Threads, but I'm going to say it was YouTube. It's Team Spoilers. I can say whatever I want because it's not competitive. So this is a YA, I want to say dystopian fantasy. It is 460 some odd pages, which for me is probably the largest book I will read this year. So the back says, in a country divided between humans and witchers, Venus Stoneheart hustles as a brewer making illegal love potions to support her family. Love potions are a dangerous business. Brewing has painful, debilitating side effects, and getting caught means death or a prison sentence. But what Venus is most afraid of is the dark, sentient magic within her. This might be a little too dark for me, guys. When an enemy's iron bullet kills her mother, Venus's life implodes. Keeping her reckless little sister Janice safe from her is now her responsibility. When the powerful Grand Witcher, the ruthless head of her coven, offers Venus the chance to punish her mother's killer, she has to pay a steep price for revenge. The cost: brew poisonous potions to enslave DC's most influential politicians in order to pass legislation that will protect witchers for years to come. That right there is what hooked me, is the brewing potions to make legislators do good things. So I'm iffy on this one. Honestly, I feel like it's going to be a DNF, but we're going to give it a try. You never know. It's YA, so it'll be hopefully fast-paced. If I'm slogging through it, I can get an audiobook to help me speed through. But right now, what we're going to do... Oh, that feels good. We're going to stop this. We're going to get a drink of water. We are going to turn on the air conditioner. And we're going to get cozy in our chair and start reading. Well, Scavenger hunt was a dud. Just posted me trying to read this, and you probably saw me going like this, falling asleep. Not that the book is bad. It's just not for me at all. I read, I don't know, I went in maybe 2 chapters, 20, 30 pages, not vibing at all with it, which is sad because I kind of liked the idea of brewing love potions for our politicians to make them do the right thing. I would recommend this for dystopian fantasy readers who like something pretty gritty, not me. So, I'm going to post here. After I realized that this was not for me last night, I went and I pulled one more prompt. Imagine the video there. That was, it's count the number of letters in the author's name and find a book with a title with that same number of letters. So, didn't take me long, and I got to Vera Stein is Fine. This is by Julie Murphy. Love Julie Murphy. I love her older works, and this to me harkens back to the days of Dumplin' and If the Shoe Fits. I'm not a huge fan of her more newer spicy stuff. This is more romantic fiction than romance. So far, I'm, a good chunk in from this morning's reading. So Vera is 40. She's kind of like lost. She has spent the last 18 years doing 2 things: caring for her mother with cancer and being the assistant to her college friend who is now like a Hallmark movie star hunk guy. What she really wants to do is write scripts for TV shows. She, not going to, again, I'm early in, so I'm not going to give too much away, but her grandmother is an old scream queen from the 1960s, so she's like a B-list, C-list actress in her 80s. When Vera's mother dies, Ruby, the mother, sells their house and moves into an old hotel that's been converted into a retirement home for those B-list and C-list actors, writers, directors, producers, etc. Set in outside Palm Springs. Vera quits her job, won't say why, and moves in with her grandmother and then pursues her life here. I'm not that far in. I will tell you, so far, I'm absolutely loving it. The older characters, Ruby and Ruby's friends, are hilarious. Think Blanche from Golden Girls. They are saucy. And then there is a former love interest that makes an appearance. That's as far as I've gotten. Absolutely loving it. It is, let's see, I started this project Wednesday afternoon. It is now Thursday. I'm going to go grab some lunch, and then we are going to sit and do another couple hours of reading Vera Stein. I'll check back in with you. Okay, it's now Friday. I started this on Wednesday. I am, 65, 70% done. Stayed up late last night reading. It's so good. It is so good. It's definitely, unless it all goes to crap in the last 70 pages. It is definitely a 5-star read. So again, Vera Stein is Fine is Julie Murphy's new book that's coming out in July. It's definitely more romantic fiction than full-on romance. There is a romance in it. There is a little bit of smut in it. But it is a lot more involving character development as far as her, the main character, evolving from being this assistant to a friend who's a star to becoming her own person and figuring out that Star Dude wasn't the right guy for her. So the only way this could go to shit is if she ends up going back to Star Dude. But fabulous book, highly recommended. Lots of good secondary characters with her grandmother and her grandmother's friends. A lot of poignant moments with them because they're aging and they're dealing with death and things like that. So this is the end of me vlogging, reading this. I'm going to finish it up today when I get home from work. Speaking of that, that's where I am standing right now because it is but ugly early on a Friday morning and I have to be here for an electrician to come in. So vlogging from the store, going to read a couple pages and then get to work and then finish it up tonight. So what's next for me? Well, I'm in like 50 bajillion book clubs. No, really, seriously, I'm in 5 book clubs, I think. Not all of them meet every month, and I don't necessarily read for them if it's something that I don't want to read. But I do have 2 more book clubs this month. So we're at the 12th of June. I have one that's next Thursday, and that we are reading The River Has Roots. It's an in-person book club, but this is a tiny little book, you know, easy reading. I'm looking forward to this. I've heard nothing but great stuff about this book and this author. It is fantasy, and as we saw from the book idea and after the beginning of this vlog, I'm not a huge fantasy reader, but I feel like this is going to be more my fantasy vibe because the sci-fi I read is like the Becky Chambers sci-fi, the cozy, lyrical sci-fi. So that is up next, and then I have a book club, an online book club that meets at the end of the month, and we are going through Agatha Christie in written chronological order. So we are starting with The Mysterious Affair at Styles, and I will be reading that next. So that is my first back to YouTube reading vlog. Thanks for joining me, and my next video is going to be a new TBR game that I've just created. It's at the printer right now. I'm excited to see it. I'm calling it Escape from the Bookstore, which I know we don't really need to escape from the bookstore, but the idea is to get out this time with as few books as possible and ones you really, really, really want to read. And I'll be filming that next week because the last week of June, I'm going to be on a work trip with several hundred other booksellers that specialize in children's books. So that's my plan for the next few weeks. I am still planning to do an Ask Me Anything about book selling and working in the indie bookstore world and publishing, the things I know about that. I've been doing this for 20 years. So if you have a question, post it down below and I might answer it on a future video. Thanks.